through some manual muscle testing and gross range of motion. So what we're going to do is kind of just go through the range, and then I'm going to apply some resistance, and I want you to just not let me move you. So to start, can you place your hands behind your back, kind of to stabilize, and then we can bring this knee to your chest, all right, and back down, and then up to my hand, and then don't let me move you. And same on this side, so bring it up to your chest, bring it back down, bring it up to my hand, and then don't let me move you. Next, we're going to do, I'm going to pull it up, so just don't let me move you. And same on this side, don't let me move you. Okay, and then can you spread your legs open, and then back closed, then open just slightly, and don't let me move you. Okay, and then back open, don't let me move you. And then I want you to bring this heel to this calf, so just like that. And don't let me move you. Same on this side, so bring it. There you go. And then we're going to go out, so perfect. Try to not hike your hip a little bit. There you go. Move you. Same on this side, so bring it out. Perfect. Don't let me move you. All right, and next you're going to extend your leg out. Bend it just slightly, and don't let me move you. Same on this side. Extend it out, bend it slightly. Don't let me move you. Okay. And then I'm going to try to pull you out. But first, can you kick back like you're trying to kick your butt? There you go. And then come back to normal. And then just don't let me pull you out. This side. Move you. Alright, and then next I want you to point your toes to the ceiling, and then back down like you're pushing a gas pedal, and then don't let me move you. Okay, and then don't let me move you. Alright, and back up. Don't let me push down. Don't let me move you. And then bring your feet together like you're trying to clap your feet together. There you go. And don't let me move you. Don't let me move you. Perfect, and we'll do opposite, so bring it out. Perfect. Don't move you. Move you. Alright, and then now we're going to do your toes, so extend them out as much as you can. I'm just going to push down on them. This side. And then can you spread them apart if you're able to? Okay, and it doesn't look like you're able to, so I'm just going to do some range of motion so you can relax your toes. Just make sure you can move through those ranges. Okay, and then we're going to flex like you're trying to make a fist with your toes. And don't let me move you. Don't let me move you. Alright, so next we're going to be doing some active range of motion of dorsiflexion. So dorsiflexion is where you pull your foot upward, and we're going to be looking at the fulcrum, which is the lateral malleolus. The proximal arm will be going up the fibula, and the distal arm will be parallel to the fifth metatarsal. Okay, so like this. And then what I want you to do is just pull your foot upward as far as you can go. So like, perfect. Just hold it. And then we're parallel. All our landmarks are good. And then looking at this, you can see that she has 13 degrees of dorsiflexion, which would be plenty of room for things such as gait. So this would be falling in the normal range. All right, now we're going to do passive range of motion of your plantar flexion. So it'll be like pushing down the gas pedal. We're going to be using the lateral malleolus for the fulcrum. The proximal arm will be going up the midline of the lower leg or fibula as a reference. And then we're going to put the foot at neutral. And then we're just going to move her through passive range of motion, plantar flexion, just her landmarks. And as you can see from this, she has 51 degrees of passive plantar flexion, in which she began at neutral. She will have plenty of room for gait and other activities. She would be considered hypermobile in this area. Alright, so we're going to do some passive range of motion. I'm going to find your greater trochanter to start, which is right there. I'm going to do the proximal line, which goes to the midline of the thorax, and then the distal arm, which goes to the midline of the femur. Alright, so what I want you to do is just relax, and I'm going to just raise your leg into extension. Table, so lower it down just a little bit. Okay, and we have 12. As you can see here and mentioned before, she has 12 degrees of passive hip extension. This is plenty. It falls into the normal range of hip extension. She began to raise her hip, in which I lowered her back down until the hip was not compensating for that movement. She also began in neutral, which was 0 degrees of extension. Alright, so we're going to be doing some active range of motion of your hip. So what we're going to be looking for is the fulcrum, which is the greater trochanter. Then we're going to be placing the proximal arm along the midline of your thorax, and then we're going to be placing the distal arm going towards the lateral epicondyle. So to start, I'm going to find your greater trochanter right there. All right, and then can you go ahead and try to bring your knee towards your chest? As you can see in the upcoming image, she reached 108 degrees of hip flexion, which falls well within the normal range of hip flexion. Alright, so now we're going to be doing the Eli's test. During this test, we're going to be measuring the muscle length of the rectus femoris. By doing this, we're going to stabilize at the hip and just flex the knee, passively flex the knee, so just relax. Flex the knee, and we're looking for motion at the hip. We're looking for the hip to rise. And not see the hip rising. Go in and out just to double check. So she would be negative for the Eli's test. Alright, so for the straight leg raise, we're going to be measuring muscle length of the hamstrings. We're going to be looking to see if it gets past 68 to 80 degrees, but if it does not, it would be positive, and we're going to make a measurement with the fulcrum being the greater trochanter, the proximal going up the midline of the thorax, and the midline of the femur being the distal. Right, so we're going to go ahead and run you through once just to see what it looks like. tension there?
A little bit.
Okay. Come a bit for a second. Okay there?
Yep.
All good?
Yep. That's good.
Okay, and then we're at fulcrum. Okay, relax. As you can see in this image, she has 71 degrees of hip flexion during the straight leg raise, which means she would fall into the norm for hamstring muscle length during the straight leg raise. Flop it down, but
Go.
Alright, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to raise on one foot. So it'll look kind of like this. You're going to go up on your toes, but you can put 2 fingers on the table, and you're going to lift your left foot off the table, off the floor, and then try to go up on your toes on your right. Okay, so it looks like you're having some trouble. We'll go ahead and lay down with your feet hanging off the end of the bed.
Which way?
Alright, so what I want you to do is I want you to push down like you're pushing the gas pedal. And then what I'm going to do is just apply some slight resistance. Just don't move, okay? As you can see, she failed the first rep of the calf raise. So we put her into a gravity minimized position to continue the motion to see if she could get full range of motion, in which she did. And she was able to hold against slight resistance, which would give her the score of 2 on that specific manual muscle test. So we're going to be doing a manual muscle test, testing one of your butt muscles. It's called gluteus medius. And so what I want you to do is raise your leg all the way up as far as you can. All right, and then back down just a little bit, and then up to my hand. All right, and I'm just going to apply some pressure. Just don't let me move. Here we are testing the glute med, in which she scored a 5 because she was able to withstand maximal pressure. Perfect. All right, so we're going to be measuring your knee extension. So first what I want you to do is kick straight up and then bend it slightly. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure, just try to hold it. As you can see here, we performed the manual muscle test on the quads, of which she could make it through full range of motion, but she could not withstand any pressure. So she received a score of 3.